Chris Popper here in Bangor. I'm joined by Scott Atherly, the UMaine soccer coach. And coach, it's what, July 17th? You haven't had much of a summer. The members of your team arrived shortly after the 4th of July, and you've had a couple weeks with them. And I think this is the end of the first week of practices.
Yeah, we started officially the 15th of July, which is Wednesday. We've had 3 practices, and really what a welcome period for our team, because it's you really feel like you actually have time to prepare for your season, and you really resist the temptation of overworking your players.
Yeah, we talked earlier this summer. So there's been a change where you have actually been allowed a longer preseason program or an earlier preseason program.
Yeah, they actually call it a transition period. So there's 2 things that the women's soccer Division I group did this year. We've expanded the season by 2 weeks. So we have our first game 1 week sooner or earlier, and then we have a game week longer than we normally did. And that stretches out the number of midweek games. So it eliminates a lot of the midweek games, which is great. But they incorporated what's called a transition period, which is a 2-week period prior to the start of preseason. And preseason officially starts the 29th of July.
So it's really, I mean, you have a lot of new players coming in. I think I read that you have let's see, you have 6 newcomers, 2 transfers. So it's really and 17 returnees. So you really have a chance to bond without school starting and everybody kind of getting acclimated to Orno.
Yeah, it really is. It's great. And the reality is that once the season starts, it's lightning speed. So this really is that opportunity especially for the first year players who've never, been away from home, adjusted to the cafeteria, living with somebody else. All of those natural transition things happen before we have to really worry about games and being competitive in the games. And that just takes a lot of pressure off of them.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, one of the new players this year is Ashley Kramer. And obviously, the Kramer name is very familiar to Maine soccer fans with her sisters, Abby and Kayla. It's kind of like your own Korea family for men's hockey.
Yeah, and certainly what a great family. And we've known Ashley since, just a kid. And I think, she used to come in with her parents, and, obviously with her other sisters being here, 2 sisters, and the experience they had. I think for her, it's a place that she's always wanted to be. And it's a really special family.
Abby and Kayla must be real wicked jealous because Ashley's going to be playing on this the New Balance field, and they must be amazed at what really the transformation from baseball to the dedicated soccer pitch.
Yeah, for sure. But, I think they feel really good about, being kind of the pioneers that really put our team on the map, and they're happy to see their sister reap the benefits of their hard work.
I'm sure. You've got 2 new goalies this year. You're obviously backstopped by sorry, lost the name. Your freshman from last year who did such
Ellie
an amazing,
who
did Elena, who did such an amazing job down the stretch and in the playoffs. That's going to be interesting having 2 new goalies.
Yeah, well, they couldn't have a better mentor, which I think is a great thing. And what's cool about that relationship, it's 1 year ago that Ellie was in their situation, right. So she can really empathize with where they are. And I think just to see where she is a year later, just in terms of being settled. She was super homesick last year. She was back early. She's in she's got an apartment, and all of those things. Just what a difference a year makes. But she's got such valuable experience to really be able to pass on. It's really wisdom. And those 2 new players are really, really, Juliet and Tia are really lucky to have her as a great mentor.
And then you've got obviously your daughter back from an injury, and Emma Nicholson, Asia Turner back. So you've got they're uh, veterans, but not really not having had a lot of playing time, but they've been around the
Yeah,
club.
yeah, and I think Asia had a good chunk of the spring. Leah Schroeder had a chance to get back towards the latter part. Tegan was able to get some sessions in this summer. So even more why we love this period right now for players like that, for just getting their legs and getting back into, having a month of practices before, a 2-week period is so beneficial, especially for those players that are coming back from long-term injuries.
How long are you practicing for? And I mean, to walk a typical week is, I mean, you must have a rest day
Yeah,
during the week. Walk us through like this
yeah.
transition period.
So the transition period is really, really clear. During per week, you're allowed 5 hours of soccer or skill related activities, and you're allowed 5 hours of conditioning within that week. So it's a 10-hour limitation, must have at least 2 days off in the 7-day period. So for us, we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, sorry, we took Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to give them the weekend off, Saturday, Sunday. Then we're going to go the full week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, and then give them the weekend off, 2 days in the third week, and then we start preseason.
Well, any trips planned in terms of bonding? I mean, lobster, what, any trips to the coast? Or,
Yeah, our captains are really good. They have a full calendar of team bonding activities. And Sunday, the team is coming to my house to watch the World Cup, and my wife is putting on a big spread. So we're really it's a really close knit group, and it's just really good to be together.
talk to us about the World Cup. I mean, it's been amazing, hasn't it? And I mean, just some fantastic games.
Yes, certainly a lot of excitement, super attendance, and the usual suspects prevailed. People were talking about, Spain and Argentina and England, and they were talking. They were in France. That was the talk of the tournament, and they really held true to their, certainly. And Argentina really provided a ton of excitement, and yeah, it's been great. It's been great for soccer. It's been great for North America. Great for our country. So it's really been a really entertaining World Cup.
I mean, my goodness, to watch the Scottish team take over Foxborough and drink some of the the, the bars dry, and
Yeah,
the Norway with the rowing and everything. I mean, it's been wonderful to watch.
yeah, it really has. And it's funny for folks who've never been over to Europe and to watch games. There's nothing like it. There's just nothing like going to a game over there because the atmosphere, it's such a social event that it's you can't explain it until you see it and live it, which is really cool. And I think people got a little bit of a flavor of that, because of the World Cup.
Yeah, I think Fox One or whoever's been broadcasting has done an amazing job of with slow mos and catching
Yeah.
the fans singing in the crowd and the photos. It's just been amazing. Who are you picking on Sunday?
Wow, that's a hard one because they're both great teams. I think Spain, just because I think they've been a little bit more consistent, but either team can like Argentina has shown they can hurt you real quick and real fast. And so neither one of those teams, if they win, would be a surprise by any stretch of the imagination. But I think Spain has just been the more even-tempered, consistent team in the tournament.
And the English, their hearts were broken again. I mean, with the late quick goals by Argentina. I mean, I thought that England was going to get into the
Yeah.
finals, and then a couple quick goals, and it just shows you how quickly soccer can change.
Yeah, especially when you got a guy named Messi who can turn a game and just draws so much attention. Even if he's not the one putting the ball in the back of the goal, you have to pay so much attention to him. And he's so dynamic. And you have a personality like that who can win you a game. You're always in the game.
Yeah, yeah, it should be an amazing finals. Um, your first game is what, August 12th against Rhode Island on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, so
Unfortunately,
less than,
yeah, we're less than a month away. We have a couple of exhibitions before that, which is cool. We play Merrimack in the exhibition season as well as the regular season, and we also play Northeastern at Boston. So we're looking forward to those opportunities.
it's hard to believe. I mean, and once it comes, like you said, it's just everything is so fast and furious.
It sure is. But what a great time of the year.
Oh, absolutely. All right, Coach. Appreciate you taking the time. We'll chat again very soon, and then once the season begins, we'll start our weekly coaches show. And again, as always, appreciate the time and enjoy the rest of your summer and enjoy the World Cup on Friday. On
Thank you
Sunday, yeah, the
on
finals.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. It's always a pleasure.